Number 26. So we've got L, a circle with the equation x squared plus y squared equals to 4. P is a point with the coordinates 3 over 2 and root 7 over 2. It's a point on our circle, so on L. We want to find the equation of the tangent to L at point P. So I kind of usually like to draw these things to see what they're going to look like. So from the equation of this circle, because the x squared and the y squared are just on their own, so they're not with any other number, I know that this circle has the origin, the center at the origin. And if I remember the general formula of the equation of a circle with the center at the origin, that's going to be equal to r squared. Okay? So if I just want my r, my radius, I have to square root this number here. So I have to square root the 4. And I get 2. This means this circle has a radius of 2 drats. Sorry, guys. Okay. So radius. So it's going to look a little something like that. Obviously more circly in real life. Okay, so this is my circle. Obviously that point is going to be 2. That point is going to be 2. That bit here is going to be minus 2. And that bit there is going to be minus 2. Great. So point P is 3 over 2 root 7 over 2. So because these points are both, these coordinates are both positive, my point is going to be somewhere here. Okay, in the positive quadrant. So I'm going to just do a ballpark estimate of where that's going to be. So that's my point P there. And it's asking me for a tangent, the equation of the tangent. Now, if I draw a radius here, I might change my pen. So if I draw a radius here, I know from circle theorems that the radius forms a 90-degree angle when it meets the tangent at the circumference. Now I've got a 90-degree angle here. And straight away when I think about 90 degrees, I think about perpendicular lines, right? So if I can work out the gradient of the radius, let me write that down. So M stands for gradient of the radius. Okay, I can work out the negative reciprocal of that to work out the gradient of the tangent. So I need 2 points for gradient, right? Because I need to do change in y over change in x. And I do have 2 points. One of them is P here, which is 3 over 2 root 7 over 2. And I've got another point here at the origin. Okay? So we hopefully remember that we've got change in y over change in x. So I can do, if I call this one x1, y1, x2, y2. I can do y1 minus y2 just to recap. Minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay, just to recap the formula. So if I do y1, I'm going to do root 7 over 2. If I take away 0, it's not going to change anything. And then I've got a division by the difference in x. So if I do x1, I'm going to get 3 over 2. Obviously, if I take away 0, that's not going to change anything. So I just have to do this sum. It's a calculator paper, so you can type this in your calculator, and you're going to get root 7 over 3. So this is the gradient of the radius. Now, the gradient of the tangent is going to be equal to the negative reciprocal. So you flip the fraction, and you change the sign. So if it's a plus, it becomes a minus. If it's a minus, it becomes a plus of your perpendicular line, which is my radius. Okay? Because I'm extra like that, I also like to rationalize this. So I multiply numerator and denominator by root 7. Okay, so then I'm going to get minus 3 root 7 over 7. Great. So, I've got the gradient of the tangent here, and I also have a point on the tangent, and that's really all I need to work out the equation, the full equation. So from my point P, which lies on the tangent, I know that x is equal to 3 over 2, and I know that y is equal to root 7 over 2. So I'm going to put that into y equals 2mx plus c. So instead of y, I'm going to say root 7 over 2. Instead of m, I'm going to say 3 root 7 over 7. And instead of x, I'm going to say 3 over 2. Sorry, I forgot my minus there. And then I have to add z. Wondrous. So I'm going to simplify this a little bit because I just want to show off my mental maths. So minus times plus is a minus. 3 root 7 times 3 is 9 root 7. 7 times 2 is 14 plus c. So now I realize actually all I have to do to work out my c, and I'm going to carry on here, is I have to add 9 root 7 over 14 to both sides, or take it to the other side, whatever method you use to solve an equation. So I'm going to get root 7 over 2 plus 9 root 7 over 14. If I type all this in my calculator, I'm going to get 8 root 7 over 7. So this is my c. So I've got my m, I've got my c. All I have to do now is put them in the equation, which has to be in the form y equals to mx plus c. So y is equal to m, which I now know is minus 3 root 7 over 7, x, obviously, and then plus the c, which we worked out as 8 root 7 over 7. And we're done. I'll see you guys later for a little bit of ratio number 27. Bye.